My name is Abby Famicker. I'm a 5th grade teacher in San Diego County and also a quantum learning facilitator. I got introduced to the keys a few years ago and immediately started implementing them the next day when I got into my classroom, and started doing a pilot program for my school where my class was learning about the 8 keys as opposed to some other character ed that our school was implementing at that moment. The response from our students in my classroom, where their reactions to the keys, how they started living them, noticing them in other people, noticing them in their parents, was very powerful, and our school decided to implement them whole school this year because of that experience. So the school that I work at, the elementary school that I work at, everybody lives by the keys. We pledge to them in the morning, we notice them on the playground, we reward students for exhibiting the keys. And one of the most powerful things that's come out of that is that when I'm working in reading groups or in social studies or even in math class, my students notice the keys in their own behavior and also in important people in history. And so one day I was doing a small reading group with my low readers, and we got to the end of the book and they said, "What's the theme?" And a little boy raised his hand and he said, "I think the theme of this book is commitment, because the character didn't give up until he got what he wanted." And this little girl goes, "I don't think it's commitment, I think it's this is it," because he lived in every moment and he made the most of his life. And so my students were recognizing the keys in literature and in the explorers and in their own failures in math to see how they could be successful. And this year, my end of the year gift for my students was a book that some of them had gotten together and written for me, and they had personified each of the keys. So commitment was a football player, and they wrote a whole story about him. And it was one of the most special gifts I've ever been given as a teacher, to see that that kind of impact was made for them. Personally, my favorite key is speak with good purpose. That's the motion. Speak with good purpose has not only affected my students in the way that they communicate with each other, but it's personally affected the way that I communicate with other people in my life. And making sure that I have visible communication, respecting people that I'm working with relationships, has truly made a powerful impact for me. So speaking with good purpose is something that I live every day, and I want to make sure that I exhibit for other people to see as well.